Okay, we're going to set up our SuperHero page with an image guide and a drawing layer. So the first thing you want to do is once you take a picture of your SuperHero, you can either upload it to the Google Classroom, upload it to the Google Drive, or email it to yourself. Any way you can get it so you can download it from your computer. So after you download the image to the computer, you're going to go to File and you're going to open that image that you downloaded. So here's one of the superheroes. Another student had created a superhero. So we're going to trace this superhero. Let me see here. So we're going to trace the superhero, but before we got to set it up. So we're going to set it up. So it looks like it's actually 8.5 by 11. You can double check and go to File, Document Properties, and it says US letter. When it says US letter, it is you switch it over to inches. You see there's 8.5 inches by 11 inches. Okay. With the vectors, you don't need resolution, so we'll leave it as that. That's good. And your layers, if you go to Object, oh, it's in the way. Where is it? Okay, let me see. Object, nope, still in the way. Object, layer and options. There's your layers. So you need to have that. Bring this down again. And so what we need to do is this image that I've selected. See, you have to click on it to select it. And this image, we're going to call it a guide. Just call it a guide. This is just a guide. It's just a guide for us to sketch. Now, Control plus, no, actually a space bar. Oh, see what happens when you put the space bar? You can change the name accidentally. So I'm going to change it back to guide. Guide. Hit enter. Maybe click off. Let me see. To zoom in, you got to do space bar plus. Or you can use Control Scroll Wheel. That's another way to do it. And we're going to lower the opacity just a little bit. So down here, it says, oh, it's opacity. But you got to click on the image and change the opacity. Let's change it to 70. Yeah, depending, how much you want to see. But that doesn't want to interfere in the image. Okay. And we're going to create another layer. So create another layer here by clicking on this tiny little piece of paper here on the layers with the plus on it, and call this one drawing, because this is the one we're going to use for drawing. So one layer for an image guide, and hit enter. One layer for the image guide, and let's lock it so that it doesn't move. We want to lock it so the image guide, don't lock the drawing layer. We want to keep that unlocked. Otherwise, we won't be able to draw. And you guys know how to make brushes, but I'm going to make a brush just to refresh your memory. I'm going to grab a circle, hold the Control key to make a perfect circle, and we're going to copy this circle. Control C, Control V, and then we're going to overlap it like this. Get it kind of like an almond, I don't know what kind of an eye shape, like that. See it? Let's just zoom in a little bit. And so now we're going to select one circle, Shift, select the other circle, and go to Path, Intersection. And we get this shape here. Now I want to squish it down like this. That's going to be our brush. Command plus to zoom in. But we need to have it, right now the opacity here is still at 70 because, it doesn't change. So we got to change that back to 100. And we got to change the color to black. And you always draw it horizontal. Okay, so this is the layers. And this paintbrush here is your colors on your ink drawing. So you can open, if you don't have it open, you can open here. You can also change this. Right now we have it at HSL, or you can change it to CMYK. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And it's got an alpha. Interesting. So you want to move this all the way, the K, all the way to the right. So it's 100. So the cyan, magenta, yellow is all 0, and K is 100%. There you go. We have a brush. And so we should have it a fill, but not, there's no stroke. Make sure it has no stroke. We don't want to give it a stroke, but just the fill, which is the square. The square is the fill. The stroke is nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna. So remember, the brush stroke, you have to copy it every time you open the computer. So you have to do it every day you start drawing. So you open your brush strokes, click on it, copy it, Control C, and that goes into your computer memory. I'm going to zoom out. And we're going to draw some brush strokes here. But before we do that, you got to click on the pen tool. Make sure that don't pick any of these selections. These are all. This is the one we want. This one, right here. When you click on the pen tool, click on this one. And usually this is set to none. The shape is set to none. So click on none and change it to clipboard, from clipboard. Clipboard is like the computer memory, okay? So for a half circle, let me see, I'm going to start here. For a half circle, all you need is 3 anchor points. 1 at the end, 1 at the center, and 1 at the end. Now, to stop drawing, you had to hit enter. And there's our brush stroke, right? Now, with the black arrow, you can actually move the entire object, right? Control Z to undo. But with this tool, this is the edit path tool. And with this one, you can click on the anchor points. See, you can grab an anchor point and move it around. You can also add a curve. Select that one. I selected the middle only, and add a curve there. And then with the control arms, these control arms, you can reshape your curve. And then there's this little triangle. You see this triangle over here? This triangle, you can change the thickness of your brush stroke. So try to keep the outside lines a little thicker and then the inside lines a little thinner. It looks better. Okay, that's it. So now we created our first brush stroke. Now let's see if I can create this brush stroke here. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to start here. So we got to be using brush strokes. So you're going to using this enter. You're using this thick and thin because we're imagining that that the artist is using a paintbrush, an ink brush. So we're just faking it digitally. I'm going to add a little curve. This one, he makes it kind of angular, so we're going to make it angular a little bit, like that, there. And the thickness, you can see where the thickness should be. You can play with it, but keep all your thicknesses consistent. Don't have one really skinny, well, maybe, depending on it actually depends on your design, actually, that's what, but have some sort of consistency. And then have some of the points overlap. Make sure you have some overlap so that they're touching. The lines are touching. I'm going to draw another one from here. I'll add a curve here and I just overlap here. Hit enter. And with this path tool, I'm going to select that, add a curve. Like this. There, let me see. Do I need to overlap? Maybe just overlap this a little bit. There. So you got to make sure that they're touching and overlapping. Maybe that could be another one. So you could do. You can start out here. I guess you don't want to sometimes, you know, when you click on a point, I'll go down here. Sometimes when you click on a point, a brush stroke, it connects the brush stroke and it makes it, and it messes you up. So you don't have to draw, you can move it later. You see, I can, now they put the thing right on the same spot that you're trying to move the anchor point. It's just kind of weird how they set it up there. I'm going to add a curve on this one, there, and then I'm going to change the thickness there. So there, and they're all touching right there. And let's see, maybe I can make that, maybe I can make that into 1, maybe. Should I? Okay, let's try it. So go here, 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 and here. Enter. Try to do not too many anchor points. It's like if you're doing a curve, it's 3. If you're going almost all around, it's good. We're like 4. How many did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I made 5. So yeah, try not to overdo on the anchor points, because then it's a lot more difficult to keep it smooth, because you have way too many anchor points and it just looks a little lumpy, you know, there, like that. And here, he's got a lot of tubes here or something. Okay, let's do that. So we're not doing straight lines, because if you look at some of the drawings, I'm going to show you. Let's see, how many minutes do we have?